Hello, everybody. We are back for another episode of the Just Levina podcast. I'm so excited to have today two of my homeboys and huge supporters, Mr. Slim and OMD-DEX300. Y'all, okay, so we'll start with Slim, but y'all go ahead and tell everybody who y'all are, what y'all do, that type of thing.
Oh man, I do a lot of different things. But yeah, my name is Slim. My Instagram name is AL_COHAUL6. That's my Instagram. You feel me? But mostly I do comedy, I do art, I do visuals, I do all type of stuff. I'm a jack of all trades. I started off making beats, like had a little shenanigans going on in my life, but things changed and I'm doing things forward, but I'm working on new things and I'm always open to learning new stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. That's dope. Dex.
My name, my real name, so y'all know who I am for real, is Dexter Davis. My stage name is OMD-DEX300, which stands for Old Man Dex, Dex300. And I am the host of the Corner Store podcast, which is supported by this beautiful lady right here. And she was also a co-host on one of my pods, and she's amazing. I'm happy to be here. I don't even know what to say other than I love you.
Oh, I got so much love for you. I just want to say, like, I am such a huge person who is just big on authenticity and genuinity. And me and Dex meeting is how I encountered Slim. And it's just like I feel like those are the most divine appointments, like in life. And I was actually talking to my husband not that long ago, and he said something to me, and he was like, we're always 4 people away from that one person that we need to meet. And so I just feel honored to have you both here, to have a good conversation with me.
That's cool.
And to put people on game, because listen, I'm one of those people, and people watching are one of those people.
We all learn from each other.
Yes, I love it. So we are going to get into it, but before we do, you guys already know. What am I going to do? I'm going to tell you what today's national holiday is. Of course. So
What's the
today's
national
holiday is 1109 Day. What 1109 Day is, it's an institution that actually helps veterans like you, like my mom, like many, many people in my family. But it helps them transition from their military life back to their civilian life, and primarily those who have struggled with like mental health issues because of the wars, because of, the different things that you encounter in being a person of service. So today is essential. It's about honor. It's about duty. It's about the ultimate sacrifice and the work ethic that our men and women in service do every day. Unseen.
I ain't never heard of this.
They don't have podcasts where they can discuss it. Well, Friday is Veterans Day.
Yeah, I know that.
Friday's gonna be Veterans Day. So this is
just I'm gonna hit all of them, boy. See, I do that shit every year.
Look, that's what my mom does. She'd be like, I'm about to go get some free pancakes. I'm like, okay.
I start my day about 5 o'clock. I don't get home about like 4.
As you should. As you should. So this is what today is all about. It's an honor and reverence of that. So if you guys have any men and women in service in your family or your close circles, today is the day to just give them honor and just keep doing it tomorrow. And then Friday on Veterans Day.
Big
like keep
salute
going.
to the man.
Oh, I have something to say about my appearance right now. I look like shit.
Oh my God.
And I hate to cuss, but I'm actually looking like this because I got a part in a film coming up. And I'm gonna be playing a homeless person. So I need to look like I look.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So money is money, man.
I'm
trying to get my SAG card. So whatever I can do.
I'm with you. I'm on set right now, working on a project right now too, and I'm just like, it's weird that it's the end of the year.
I would have been cast you already. I told you that when I first met you. I was like, what are you in?
I'm blessed. It's a blessing to get to do what you love in any capacity. If it's for free, amazing. If it's paid, even better, because once those checks get cashed, baby, let me tell you,
they coming. They coming though.
Money.
You gotta speak them things.
Yes. Okay, so now that we have gotten that out the way,
National
We know what
holiday.
today
Explains
is.
why
We
all
know.
that traffic was out there today. God
Crazy,
damn.
out of control.
But yeah, right.
Yes. So I'm gonna take us to another level, and I'm gonna switch it up. So I sent you guys a video, and in this video is Charleston White,
Oh yeah,
and
man.
he is discussing his ideas on the snitch roll philosophy. Now, for him, he feels like he's one of those people where he's gonna tell, like he's the neighborhood watch. He is the person holding people accountable. If he pulls up on the scene and he sees something that he feels like is not going the way it should go, he is gonna tell.
Yeah.
And I want to know what y'all think about that type of perspective.
Well, I mean, Charleston White to me, first of all, he's a character. He knows how to, keep people's attention. You feel me?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, when I went to prison, the homie told me, like, he said, you can't be mad at people that are law-abiding citizens for doing what they pay for as tax-abiding, law-abiding citizens. So if that lady over there calls the police on you and she pay her taxes and she go to work, then that's her right. But if another person that's involved in the same type of activity that you are involved in calls the police on you, then that's where it becomes weird. And I don't condone that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to live by a street code and a street life, then deal with it the way that it's supposed to be dealt with.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you do? That's what I feel about that. But, Charleston White, scratch him.
I'm on the fence about him. A comedian that I really love said that he's a liberal sometime and he's like a Republican sometime. So, it's like certain things I'm liberal on, certain things I'm conservative on. Same could be said about Charleston White. Some of the things he say I get down with. Some of the things that he say is retarded to me. But, he has a voice now. There's a lot of people listening to him. I call him evil Sammy Davis Jr. For a lot of reasons.
That dude look, man.
But you got to give it to him on some of his stances about the rap music and the lyrics and how it affects us mentally, because I do believe it does affect us. Even though I used to rap like that and still do, talk about guns and all this stuff, because that's the criteria that's been built on in the last 15, 20 years. So as a people, we need to kind of heed some of the stuff he says and then kind of shun some of it too, because some of it's outrageous, like the threat to T.I.'s son,
hating on people,
stuff like that.
Weird,
I mean, it ain't necessary. You guys are in two different states going back and forth talking about you're going to kill each other. That kid's only, 18, 19 years old. Doesn't even make any sense. You're a grown man. Act like it.
Then when they pull up on me, calls the Johnnies, though.
And, or he sprays them with mace like he did, what's his name? I forget the rapper. He did that too. But.
So if we're talking about it strictly in the BIPOC community, like you're Black or you're a person of color, is snitching okay in any capacity? Because I heard what you said about like law-abiding citizens. So if somebody is like, I pay my taxes, I go to work, I do my job, I'm gonna call the police.
I mean, you would prefer for somebody not to snitch, but see, the guidelines of how snitching and all that was handled was a lot different back in the days, because the people that was doing crime, they made sure that their neighborhood was straight. So Miss Jackson would be like, when you see somebody come over here and they got to get their ass tightened up, she like, oh, I didn't see that because Willie just bought me $150 worth of groceries. You know what I'm saying? So people ain't doing that. They want to do something and then they want to go to this person's house and break their house and bust their windows out and all this weird shit, and they think that people not supposed to. Like, if somebody was doing that to you, you're going to do the same shit. I'm not saying that you have the right to tell on somebody, but what you sign up for when you start committing street activity, if that's what that it entails, then you shouldn't be involved in that shit if you can't handle the consequences. Like, if you can't handle that shit, don't do it. Like, the fuck? Like, I just did 12 years for some shit that I didn't do. You feel me?
Wow.
And, that shit bothers me. But, I knew what I was doing. When the people I was hanging out with, it's nobody else's fault but my own, because I can make better decisions than that. You feel me? So, it all boils down to that. But if you're going to tell, that's whatever your business is. I don't condone it. Like I said, it's circumstances. Everybody feels like they're going to tell. If he was my big brother and somebody killed him in front of me and the police come, somebody might just tell the police that he killed him. Some people might be like, man, I'm not telling them nothing. I'm gonna just go get the nigga. But you know, your emotions is, you know, all that matters. But I'm not condoning snitching at all. That's out. Like
I'm not even gonna lie. Y'all gonna be like, Levina, what? But I used to stay being like, I'm the person who I will tell because I can't go to prison. Like there's nothing inside of me that is like I cannot get, like everything in my soul be like, I can't. But as I've heard many different perspectives on it, I do just kind of feel like context, place, and time.
But if you tell somebody that at the very beginning, like, oh, don't do nothing with me, because if I have to choose between you and me, your ass going to jail.
See, but that's the thing, because I feel like I'm so loyal. Like I feel like to the people in my life, the people that are close to me, I'm so loyal. I now have a different perspective of it.
But somebody should have respect for you to be able to not put you in that position. Because once you say I'm not dealing with that shit, then somebody should be like, nah, I'm not gonna do this around Levina because I already know she gonna tell, but I don't even want to put her in that position.
Yeah, that's what I feel like the flip side is knowing who is also around you and respecting people's way of life. Because we could all live in the same area, but that doesn't mean we operate the same way or have the same core values. And if we don't, then that means you got questions to ask because, like you said, Slim, there's consequences and repercussions for every single decision. Every decision that we make has a consequence or repercussion to that consequence. So
some people always used to say, if you're gonna do crime, don't have no crimies. You ain't got nobody to tell on you.
Facts.
And most gangsters are real people that do dirt, move in silence. So it's important for people to realize that doing crime is something you're doing because you feel like you can't be normal. Right. You know, you can't work a job or you can't pay your bills the way everybody else do. So you have to be a special type of person to do that. That's why the prisons is full. They already gunning for us anyway. So, you know, you got to be smart. You know, a person like old boy from BMF.
Oh, Big Meech.
See how they was rolling for so many years, but then they started to expand. Exactly. When you start to expand and you pulling up at clubs and it's 10 Mazzies and Lambos and all that. I mean, you're doing too much. People see that. And what was we just talking about in the other pod where old boy said, if you do dirt in the black community, they're not tripping.
Yeah.
You know, if you kill another black dude, the cops know about it. They're not tripping. Go to Simi Valley and do that.
Yeah.
Then they own you now.
Well, that's a part of the accountability with our entire community, like the whole BIPOC community. Because I was thinking about this with Kanye West, like the thing with Kanye West and the anti-Semitism, even Kyrie Irving, which we were talking about offline. It's like, obviously both are wrong, but there is something in our country to where when a black person speaks out about the black community or people of color and they say things that are distasteful or ugly or vulgar or things like that, we as a community don't actually hold them accountable. So we're still buying the music, we're still streaming, we still buying the clothes, we still buying all the products, we still continue to do all those things. So there's no need necessary to break up a contract or do that for somebody of color who is on the team, because they're like, well, if your people still buying, I still want my money. But on the flip side, when you have communities like the Jewish community, the Asian community, the Hispanic community, when they say no, and then they completely cut ties. And I think that that's also what ends up hurting us in the long run, why we end up fighting each other, because then it's like, well, we don't hold each other accountable when we should. But then when somebody has just a problem with something on a lower level, we going hard. We going in.
It's monumental. But that's true though, because, you know, like as us as a black community, we tolerate and allow so many people to do shit that we just be like, forget about it later. Like, you know, a lot of people done stuff. You know, Dana White, he's like crazy on, and UFC is up there. And you know what I'm saying? He's still having black fighters and still having people, like, after all the crazy stuff that he said, but we don't hold people accountable like other people hold accountable because they feel some type of way about it. We get upset and we use that energy for whatever that purpose is for some stupid shit instead of using it into some energy that could change something.
Yes.
I don't want to go too hard on your pod. And have
please be yourself. Don't play with me. No, don't play with me, Dex.
The funny thing about this, I'm about to say something that's real deep. The Emancipation Proclamation supposedly freed the slaves, right?
But we're still not.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what that's all about. The slaves never really actually got freed. It was just a transfer of ownership. It transferred from the private owners, slave owners, to the American government. The welfare system was created by Eleanor Roosevelt, wife of President Roosevelt at the time. It wasn't done just because they had the bottom dropping out back in the day in 29, I believe, and everybody jumping out, white people jumping out of buildings because they lost their whole thing and everything. And people were in bread lines. So they were alongside black people at the time. Black people are still slaves to the United States of America. I feel like when I was in the military, one of the sergeants told me, he said, you're just a number here.
Wow.
We're just like the guns that we carry, the rucksacks and everything. That's why they call you a GI, your government issue. You're nothing but a piece of equipment. That's and the same thing could be said about us as a people. In the Constitution or the Bill of Rights, one of the two, we're considered 3/5 human beings.
Exactly.
Meaning that we're just like a cow or a goat or something like that. That's still going on to this day. So the reason why we have to kowtow and do 5 or 6 steps to get back on the team. Now, this man had already been suspended 5 games, which he lost over a couple million bucks, but they still want him to pay $500,000 to the Anti-Defamation League and do all those little things on there. Kyrie Irving has not yet complied to that. And I respect him and I back him for that because it's time for us to stop tap dancing for these people and be considered human beings because that's what we are.
So imagine the accountability if every black player in the NBA went out on the court and dropped the ball and said, we're not playing until he can come back.
Let's go further. Let's go a little bit further.
If we did that, how about black and brown people?
That part.
What about we shut this whole joint down?
Exactly.
Because the only thing they respect is green. So you take away that money, they'll come to the table. Now, what y'all want?
NASCAR,
y'all want to be treated a little better?
Trucks.
Exactly.
We don't even get our homes appraised fairly.
Nah.
Okay. You buy a house for $400,000. You put another $250 into it. They come to your house, say it's worth $472. I was like, bro, no, you tripping.
Right.
You bring over a white person and have the appraiser come and it's him. All of a sudden, you're getting triple and quadruple the money. So, that's the world we live in. You have to realize that. People got to face that every day. That's why you have so many homeless downtown that throw their hands up and be like, man, I'm not living under this. I might as well live off the land, and beg you for $1 burger every day. I'll exist off of that. So that's the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to do too much. Chill.
No, but I think it's a perspective. I think like black, white, purple, brown, whatever you are, I think as a community, we're going to hold people accountable. And if you're going to hold people accountable, let the standard be the standard every single time.
Yes, ma'am.
And if we did that more, I feel like we would see more success in our businesses, in our entrepreneurship, and people supporting each other with their businesses. Because we have so many like Black and POC entrepreneurs right now that if all the small businesses got together and would really work together and really understood what collaboration meant, it would take the whole community to
we
another
gotta
level.
do that. Like we gotta do that.
They've done a number on us.
People always want to be able to be like, oh, I'm getting more. I'm doing like people don't want to just say like something that's positive or to give something or to do something to help one person have a leg up.
Yes.
And then they want to have all the legs up. And then later on, when this person is doing good, they want to be like, oh, well, can I get one of your legs too? Like, damn, motherfucker, like you wouldn't even give me one of your legs.
Exactly. When I was really in need or when I really felt like I needed or when I really would have loved the opportunity to just put it out there. And I hate that for us. But at the same time, I do feel like as this Gen X generation is coming forward, we will see more of that. We will see more of that because I just feel like they have less.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's the great awakening that everybody's talking about these days?
I don't know that it's a great awakening as much of, okay, so I'll say like Dex for your generation. I know it was like, you work hard, you gonna eat. something's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what they said.
My generation just said, well, if you work hard and then you go to school and then you do what you got to do, you'll make it. And this generation is like, all that shit was not true.
Mm-hmm.
If you just work hard and you grind it out, whether you got a technical education, whether you have a college degree, whether you got your master's, whatever it is,
interesting.
Yes, it is going to work. But it works only if you work it.
Ask yourself why they took trades out of high school.
Because they don't want people to understand the things that of the way life actually, like, it's a curriculum. This is why I homeschool my own children.
Right.
There's a curriculum that they want to be taught. And so there's a way that they need us to think. It's groupthink. And if we all think that way, then we behave that way. Then the economy can
what you're saying
that
right
way.
Now. You pretty much saying what I'm about to set up. We've been here. All we know is this place. We don't know where we came from. Look at you. Look at the diversity in the skin colors.
Yeah.
We have no clue where we came from over there.
Right.
And to me, that breaks my heart because I want to know.
Yeah.
The simple fact is our legitimacy only lies in the United States of America. We're descendants of slaves. Okay. That's horrible. We have no identity. We don't know who we are. They have been giving us who we are. They have been telling us who we are. They've been doing a number on us for a long time. We're just coming out of that, and we're starting to figure out that we're way more than we ever thought we were. And the struggle with them is, you know what? If they find out who they truly are, we might be in trouble. That's where the Great America stuff comes from. And let's take it back to the past when y'all didn't know who we were. That's what that's all about. The surprising thing to me is that we're split down the middle as a people. There's people like me and you and him that believe in all the things I'm talking about. Then there's people who actually will go to a Trump rally and say, you know what, I want it to be the way it used to be. That's amazing to me. That tells me we're under some type of a psychological hold that we need to break. If we don't break that, we're destined to be doing this dance for a next 100, 200 years.
Because people want to self-benefit, though. That's where all that comes in from. Like people, excuse me, people look at that type of stuff, like, and they like, selfish. Oh, why would I vote for Donald Trump? Because I can get the most benefit out of this. He's going to help me get this. He's going to help me do this tax loop. He's going to do this. I'm going to be able to get all this because he's going to put these in the office and behind closed doors, other people is not telling you that these is how they're making their income or doing the stuff they doing. And you like, damn, like what's going on? But you know, we not sharing as a community to even understand that, because it's like a self mentality. It's like, you know, I'm gonna do whatever's better for me. Like I don't give a shit. Like I don't care. You got $10, oh, I need $11.
Yeah.
You got $10, oh, I need $12. Like, damn, like when can we? Why can't we just we all enough of us where we all can have 11?
No one wants to start at the bottom.
Unfortunately, and I wish, and what I hope is that as we continue to go forward, we can create a space for each other to where we can do things like that. And I think that's the thing. Like, I know people are in an uproar about Biden, and this is just a preface. Y'all know I always tell y'all to vote. I'm gonna keep telling y'all to vote.
Man, that's
but
the only
this
way
is just a preface that no matter what president we get, they're not gonna make every decision themselves. There's still a process that they have to go through. But you can always tell, I feel like, where somebody's heart is by the things that they do. And something that I think is really dope about what Biden is doing with the student forgiveness thing is that it opens up an opportunity for people who were under the thumb of all that debt to just get a little bit of reprieve. And for me, whether I could pay my loans or couldn't, and I couldn't. So I thank God that I got my mom's GI Bill to pay for my school. So that was a blessing for me. But you know, I have friends and family who that debt, just getting 10,000, 20,000 up off of that, that is huge. And that's going to help them going forward. And so we'd be like, oh, well, what is he really doing? If that was all he did until 2024, I'm good with that.
Really?
I feel like that is amazing for the economy. That's amazing for people going forward. And I'll go and venture to say, if we can do that and actually get these 2 years of college that Obama was talking about to begin with, if we get those 2 years of free college for people, I think that will also open up the market to build the economy for these jobs that they want people to
Well, you
have.
see, they
You
trying
know I
to
love
take
you. You know I love you.
segregation. They trying to bring segregation like the I forgot, we was talking about it in the car. They were trying to take the civil rights away. They trying to take all
Civil rights
that.
bill.
Yeah.
Yes,
You trying to
like what the fuck? Like that's crazy.
All right.
Dex is like,
Okay.
About to overload them.
The voting thing. Me and him are both felons. I was so blessed to be able to get my record clean. I have a gun license, the whole shebang. And I voted. And I remember when they last January or whatever, when they needed Warnock and those 2 seats in the Senate, and I was like, shit, we gotta get them seats. So fired up, and I'm like, ooh, voting is BS in this country. Don't mean shit. I'm gonna say it right now. I don't care. Y'all can be mad at me. The world can be mad. It's all fake. The Democrats and Republicans rock with each other. I said it.
I know that.
Now,
Everybody
we
knows
got
that.
those 2 seats. I'm gonna break it down for you. We got those 2 seats. Everybody was cheering, and Biden's, you ain't black if you don't vote for us. You ain't black. We got the seats. Them bastards didn't do nothing. They let 2 Democratic senators who are posing as demos, were actually Republicans, block everything they tried to do. They did not use a filibuster once, not one time, to push their agenda through. When he finally got the Reconstruction bill Senator Manchin made them do 13 to 14 concessions on that bill. Okay, in order for them to sign it. We'll get down with it now. Voting is BS. Okay, even on the level they said the presidency ain't a real big deal. You're talking about all the congressmen and the senators, and we put them people in the House, we'll put them in the Senate, and they do nothing. They don't care. They never did. They never will. This country is built on commerce. It's built on commerce. The Federal Reserve is not even a real federal entity.
No, it's not. Right, no.
So it's all smoke and mirrors. Until we get with that and realize we have to look inward instead of outward to them and having our hands out to the government like, please help us. We got to help ourselves.
Well, that is the biggest thing that I think you said. I want to be clear. We are on opposing sides on this. I think people should vote. I'm going to vote because I'm a woman and women didn't have the right to vote at all. And I'm also a person of color and they used to not have the right to vote at all. So even if they do whatever they do, hey, baby, as soon as they do whatever they want to do with my vote, that's their choice. And that's between them and the Lord.
I respect it.
But as for me, I'm going to make my vote count for what I stand for.
Got you.
That part.
I know y'all can hear this. My babies are here.
People,
it is what it is.
I respect your opinion
like,
I
so
say
much.
either way, do
I
what you
respect
feel
your
your
opinion.
heart, whatever your
and there's
heart feels.
always stuff going on behind the scenes. I never believe like things are only one way because people are always maneuvering to get a leg up. Like Slim was saying, people always want a leg up for whatever reason. It's why people swap. I'm a Democrat. I'm Republican. I'm independent. It is what it is.
There's only 2 parties. Being an independent just means you haven't chosen one.
Look, that's me all day. Because sometimes I agree with Republicans and sometimes I agree with Democrats.
And
I'd be like,
that too.
I'm undecided.
I agree with both of y'all. I'm the independent too. Like
I
believe that the voting sometimes can work, but I believe that it's bullshit. And then I believe because at the end of the day, like who the hell is the person that sits here and be like, if we all have a vote right now, who the fuck is gonna be like, Levina, who did you vote for?
Right.
That's one for them.
Right.
Like,
remember when votes were sacred?
Yeah.
Remember when back in the day? That's what I grew up on. You mentioned my demo or my age bracket, what generation I'm from. Back in the day, they used to say your vote is sacred. You don't tell nobody who you voted for. You don't even tell people who you align with politically. Today, that's not a norm today. Today's norm is I'm a Trumper, I'm a Republican, I'm this. Everybody's yelling out what they are politically. And I think that's not right. Until we change that type of behavior, voting don't mean anything.
Everything has a gang mentality.
Exactly.
Everything has a gang mentality.
Ain't that the truth?
Everything has a gang mentality.
This is true.
No matter
that means we move pop culture, right?
Man, we are pop culture. pop culture is just popular culture. We are the most popular
It's
thing
popular
that's out
at
there.
that time.
Come on,
Exactly.
And
man.
we move that needle
Like
every year.
everything is gang culture. Like
Everything.
you have to
Like the show.
represent. I
The
have
show
to.
is
I have to
popular.
show you. I have to show you. This is what I do. This is what I stand. This is where I'm
Exactly.
from. Like everything has that. Everything has that.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm with you. Woo. Okay. I feel like this conversation having me sweating, but it's okay because I love this. I'm here for it.
Man,
This is
you know?
why. This is why I do
I
it.
know I'm
I
gonna
love
make
that
it
part.
easy on you. I'm gonna make it easy on you.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
no.
I wouldn't want you to. Okay. So we're gonna continue. And since we got a lot to say, we got a lot to say about the government. We got a lot to say about people in our community and holding people accountable. What is one thing that you guys would say that you have done that you can say? I know who I'm with. That you can say that you wish you wouldn't have done or that you could take back.
I can say,
Damn, I did see
honestly,
that. Oh, I remember this question.
on everything. Like I've been asked this question a gang of times.
Ooh, I got a weird
And
one.
I honestly, I wouldn't change nothing. You feel me?
Mhm.
Like I would change my understanding on certain things. You feel me? But I wouldn't change nothing in my life because if I change something in my life, then I wouldn't even be sitting here with you right now. If I changed something in my life, I wouldn't have the understanding and the knowledge, the experiences, the training, like the guidance, the people in my life, all the things that I had up until this point, I would not have it. So I would be a completely different person. So right now, I'm not mad at the person that I am. I still need to understand a little bit more and still learn because you always need to learn all the time. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't change nothing because I want my son. You feel me? I don't want to go left and I should have went right, and then I don't have the child that I have today.
That's right.
Like I wouldn't change it. Like it make me who I am.
I'm proud of him.
I love that.
He's my friend, and we had some ups and downs together.
Man.
But if we're talking about regrets, and I don't want to get too emotional on here, but my sister was murdered, and we one of the worst memories I have about she and I is my sister used to mess with me quite often, like just, and we got into it one day and I hit her. Now I don't hit women, and I'll never forget that. I don't want to go into detail what happened to her at that time, but I felt so bad for so many years. I mean, I apologized then, I apologized over the years. Yeah, you all right? But for her to pass away and me not to get to see her and tell her how much I loved her, and that's probably my biggest regret. And hearing how she was found, and that's probably the thing I regret the most, is not getting a chance to say goodbye to her.
Wow. Before I respond, we just gonna take a moment for Dex's sister. No matter what y'all hear ever get said on this podcast, whether it be a video, a clip, whatever, wherever you hear it, this is like real life.
Definitely.
Every conversation that I have on here is specifically for the impact of all the communities that I have the potential to impact, all the communities that will be able to be impacted by these words and these stories. And so if you're hearing this and you're like, oh man, that was me, this is for you. This is why you're watching. But this is also why it's so important to have these platforms where people from all different walks of life can get together and just have a real, genuine conversation. Because otherwise you would never know that. I think for me, if I had to say something that I would take back is not forgiving people who impacted me negatively in my past. Like it's taken me a lot of years and current therapy to get through all the things that I've been through. And like Dex, I've mentioned this to you, but I've been abused. My mom was in an abusive marriage for 10 years. I've been physically abused. I've been sexually assaulted. And it is something that people say to me all the time. They're like, Levina, I would have never known that about you. Like if you never said that, I would never know. And that is nothing but a testament to the grace that is present every day that we wake up, because it is a choice. It is a choice. So you sitting here and you listening to Slim and he's like, I wouldn't take nothing away. Like I live my life. I would change my mindset. I would change changed my perspective. Listen to Dex, like I didn't get to say goodbye the way that I wanted to. Like, you know, my actions, the way that I could have done it could have been different. With me, forgiveness, because that anger, it goes inside of you and it lives inside of you, and it could cause you to do 1,000,001 things.
I deal with that every day.
You could regret even more, but man, like,
even on the way here, I almost got into an altercation.
Oh Lord!
Right around the corner, right here, El Pollo Loco. I love you, and I love what you got going here, but I wasn't about to pay for that parking. So I decided to park somewhere else. And as I'm trying to back up, this guy comes behind me. I'm like, what the, you know, and so we got into it. I got out the car. I was like, dude, you about to get it ended today. So you better go on. You know, and I deal with anger all the time. A lot of times I talk to I don't go to therapy, but my therapy is to talk to people who are like-minded like me. They're going through the things and the struggles that I've gone through. I mentioned to you, I didn't bring the coin. I should have brought it, but I started a veterans Bible group at the VA.
Oh, wow.
In West LA, and I think they still do it to this day. And we have these Christian soldier coins they gave us to commemorate us being the ones that started it. It's like 3 p.m. On Saturdays, right in the quad between the domiciliary 217, 214. And I'm very proud of that. And we talked about our love of God and what he's done for us. He knows how I feel about him. He knows how I have what I have today. Because it came from nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm rolling. I'm doing real well right now, and
that part.
And I give it up. I give him the glory for that every single day. I made I make money out of nowhere, and that just shows you there's a divinity to that. There's a divineness to it. And I'm just saying he's real. Give your life over to him and give him credence every day. You're gonna see some movement happen in your life. So that's how I get through the day, and I ain't killed nobody.
Well, praise God you didn't kill him on the way in here, because what would I have done?
It must be like some type of spirit down there on that corner.
I'm telling you, man.
Man, that dude, he tried to say I was stealing the stuff out of the 7-Eleven, and he tried to manhandle
around
me.
over there.
Yeah, and then I had to
not a DTLA
I had to hit him like
spirit.
a with the little elbow after, like, and tell
I know
him,
this
like,
building,
I'll knock you out, bro. Like, don't grab me like that. I don't have nothing to. What do I need to steal this for? Like, come on, crazy, bro. Like, you know, but it is what it is. I have to learn. That's why I'm glad that I learned the things that I said, like that with that question that you asked me. Because before, if he would have did that, I would have just rang his jaw, and then I would have just walked out, and I wouldn't have been wrong because I paid for it, and he doesn't have the right to put his hands on me. I know what the security guard code say, so I could have just gave him what he was looking for.
I know this is gonna sound silly, but when I have bad days because I'm a gangster nerd, I'll go home and watch Lord of the Rings and everything's fine.
Yeah. I love Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings.
You know what I'm saying? If I see Bilbo or Frodo, man, it's cool. I'll be like, I just get up. You know, or if I see Vader coming out of Coruscant to go fight Obi-Wan, I'll be like, whoo. See, that kind of stuff changes my mindset, you know, gives me a whole new perspective. And he knows how I am. I like comic books, all that stuff, you know. But we still can't run for who we are and where we was raised and how we was raised. Not saying my mom did a bad job, but when you go outside in LA, and I have 3 children, and 2 of them was raised in California, which is horriblest place to try to raise your children, homeschooling them. I love you and your husband, y'all bomb, because that's the kind of stuff you do where you keep them at home, they safe, you giving them the knowledge you know they need to coexist in this world. And the simple fact is, I think people gonna start moving toward that more, because it's hard to send these kids to school. Yeah. Because the influences outside your home are powerful.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So you also can't be afraid to let your kids go out there because they gotta live.
Right.
So the sad thing for me is that I was always terrified about that. But my son turned out great. He's in college. My youngest is an honor roll student since preschool. My oldest daughter's in London, England, studying now. She already had her degree, but now she's going for her master's at some school in London. I'm like, this can't be because of me, because I'm an idiot like a mother. So, you know, they always give me my props, and I'm like, y'all just being nice. But
that's why they can make all these dumbass decisions, because they think they smart, because they learn stuff way faster than we learned it because they got access.
The book does not equate to smarts. Let me tell y'all.
Not these books that they give us in America. Half of them is lies in there.
This is the only book that the kids know about. Is this
my history book? Man, I remember. I went to
book.
Audubon. My history book is bullshit. I remember. They had, they had that Indians shaking their hand with the pilgrim and shit. Like, come on in, goddamn it. We've been waiting for you guys.
I can't. Okay, I'm about to break this up. I'm about to just ask y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna put you under fire. Why do you think it's hard for women to be submissive?
Oh shit.
I don't think that it's hard for women to be submissive. Like a lot of men, it's not really leaders like that. And then like, a lot of the problem is because you got women raising men. So men is doing like bitch ass shit. So it's not that the women can't be submissive. It's just that, you have to have a person that's going to lead and a person that's going to know,
right.
Because I've been told that at certain times, you feel me? But you have to back up and look at it because this world is so focused on like things that's going on with women that men are becoming women. Like they doing shit that females do. Motherfucking niggas is calling you on the phone and telling you like,
I got
bro,
an
I don't want to
example.
hear that shit. Like, I don't care about that. Like, don't call me about that. Like, I don't like it's certain stuff. Like, that's why I like when I talk to him because we have serious conversations, even though I be on some bullshit. That's why, I be having to make him. You feel me? I be having to make him come down to like out of his level. No, not my level, nigga. Because no, but at the end of the day, I be having to bring him out of his little world sometimes because he'll go there, he'll take you. He know a lot of shit. Like you don't know, he know a lot of stuff.
Dennis Rodman was raised by 3 women. Okay, look at him.
And
the man
wears 3 motherfuckers,
wedding dresses, everything. One of the toughest SOBs in the NBA. Everybody know that.
This is fact.
But he had no clue who the hell he was. None, and still to this day don't. Where be who you are. I always say that, but he's the quintessential Black man in America, confused and trying to figure it out.
Man,
that's what we stay on. I'm to this day, I'm 56 years old and I still don't know what the fuck I'm winging it. The only reason why I'm existing and getting what I get is because of him. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
To me, that equates to me not knowing nothing. That equates to me effing up before. That equates to me not giving him, myself early on. And sometimes when, God is real forgiving. So he's like looking at me like, nah, I told your ass. I told you back in the day, if you would have just came on in, you might be a CEO now. But what I'm gonna do for you, I'm gonna bless you every month with some money. You're gonna have a roof, got a chance to be somebody, okay? That's how he treats me right now. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? This man came out of 12 years down. How many people can come out from that and start to thrive? He's thriving.
Shit, I'm not about to be. I don't know. It's like these people have all these abilities to do all this stuff behind bars, and then you get out of prison and you just forget like all your ingenuity and all your creativeness and all the shit that you had. Like, how do you do that? Like, you just be like, fuck it. That's weird. Like, do something. It's not that hard. You could, man, it's so many things that you can do if you just apply yourself. If you learn how to be diverse, you learn how to do stuff to be able to speak to people like they're human beings and understand that they have attitudes and they have fucked up days too. And that sometimes if you still just be a normal person and you control your attitude, you smile, you talk, you be courteous to people at times, you get far as motherfucker.
You really be preaching, man, because the Bible speaks of these things.
Yes.
The Bible speaks to, if you put out negativity, guess what the hell coming back to you?
Man.
So if you put out positivity in all aspects, even under the auspices of living bad, he gonna see that and be like, man, bless him. Man. Let's give them something. Yeah. Your family, everything that you get, a blessing you get gonna trickle down. That's one of them situations. The Lord not gonna bless you and it's just for you. He gonna bless you so you can bless others. Yeah. That's how he get that. Exactly. And the thing you just said a second ago about we need to stop using this and start using this. Listen more. There's a lot, and I'm talking from the lowest supposed form of humanity, people that live on the street. Those people got stuff to tell you, man. They do. If they're in their right mind, listen. Because that's the problem. Half of the people out there is not in their right mind. So they can't tell you nothing coherent. But there are people out there who are like, bro, don't do what I did.
Man.
Right.
So you got to listen to that.
What's deep, what you just said, is that, you know, if you're a man and you supposed to like show your woman how to lead, that's a part of showing her submission, because you're doing this and you ain't doing all this shit.
Exactly. That's one thing I learned late in life, is that when your woman come home and she's talking about the job, she's not really looking for a solution. She's venting.
Yeah.
You just, yeah, for real, babe? They be tripping. Just listen. That's all you got to do.
You can't do that.
After,
If she asks
2
you,
hours
what did I
of that,
just say? You gotta
after
know.
she done got it all out, I'm
You
going to take a bath. All right,
Yeah.
mama. Then you go back to the game.
I can't do that
Because she's trying to vent, man. She's trying to vent. Now, if she's arguing about things and you're like, good Lord, I was trying to hear all this. That's different. But most of the times, like, babe, oh, that girl at the job, I'm so tired of doing that. Everybody giving me their files. I'm like, for real? For real? Most dudes be like, well, you should say something.
Hell no, I can't do that.
She
I
don't
gotta
want
listen
no,
and
she don't
pay
want
attention.
no,
Because if she asks me a question and I don't know the answer, then the argument is gonna be about me.
Then the
that's your
argument
girl.
is
She gonna be like,
This
what the
is
fuck?
That's your
This is
girl,
facts.
bro.
Like, would you hear me?
I actually agree. I don't think it's hard for women to be submissive. I think it's the right person.
This brother would know. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I shouldn't be pointing at nobody.
My husband is in the back. Babe, is it hard for women to be submissive if it's the right person? The difference between me last month and this month is a lot. Is a lot. Like I actually, my husband and I were having a conversation, and it was because I was watching Kevin Samuels. And
who I love.
something that he said, which I took with me into therapy, was this idea of respectful cooperation, which is submissiveness. And essentially what he was saying is, if a woman learns how to respectfully cooperate with her man who is leading properly,
that part,
she will naturally understand the means of respectful cooperation. It won't be as much to say as often. And so when I took this into therapy, my therapist was sharing with me some things, and I was like, damn, I have never respectfully cooperated in my entire life.
I don't think I've done that either.
I've never done it. And so then I instituted that into my life, and now he's a testament to the fact that I feel like a different person on the inside. But it's just because of a perspective and a mindset shift. There was nothing that literally happened. Like I didn't get electrocuted, anything happened. But I now have an understanding on what that means. But I think it takes the right person, because if my husband wasn't the right person, I would not be doing it, because I learned how to operate by not doing it. And I lived my life by not doing it. So
good job. I need to learn. I'm trying to learn. You feel me? I'm listening and learning.
I need to interject and say something to both of you guys. You guys, to me, give me so much joy to know that Black love is still prevalent. You dig? Because I'm gonna be honest, when I met your wife the first time, I was like, damn. I was like, who in the magnanimous? But and when you said you were mad, I was like, bro, this woman's mad. To me, that's beautiful, because there's a lot of women that look like you that ain't. And I mean, you don't look like you have kids. Obviously, you got kids too. So you should be commended, as well as you, for y'all union and the love and raising your kids the way you do, and then being entrepreneurial, starting your own media thing. I couldn't be more happy for y'all.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And that's truly from my heart, because I'm a single dude that can't find a turtle to kiss.
I'm not playing with you, Dex. I'm not gonna play with you.
And I mean, I'm dating and everything, and everybody I meet look like, somebody put spells on them or something. So, it's fucking crazy, the black magic that's going on in the world. I'll be your boy trying to, and I have things. I mean, I bring shit to the table. I'm willing and able, but you know what I'm saying? It's just not working out, So when I see stuff like that, I'm happy, but I'm jealous.
I love you. I cannot. Okay. Look, I got you after. When we wrap, I got you. But so this is what I'm going to say, because we got to wrap up. But as we do, I want you guys, if there was one thing that you could tell somebody who's watching, and you would just say, hey, if you do this one thing, I think it would change your life, whether it be business, whether it be lifestyle, whatever it is, what would that one thing be?
One thing would be is when you have your instincts and you have opportunities that you should follow those instincts because you never want to live your life for woulda, coulda, shoulda.
That's it.
I love that.
Well, I love that. I can't really say too much else other than harp on the fact that you got to give a sight unseen God his due. Give him an opportunity to work in your life. Just try it. Just wholeheartedly though. Don't be like, I'm gonna pray tonight, see what happens tomorrow. You got to run with it. You got to pick the ball and run with it. You got to get on it. And it's not necessarily a lot of people get misconceptions about how you're supposed to worship. You could just talk to God. You know what I'm saying? You ain't necessarily got to get on your knees. I mean, all of these decadent traditions and Catholicism, all these different sects of religion. Get your individual relationship with him going and watch how things change. I promise you. I am living proof of that. I am a testimony. I got mad stories that we can't share today because of time, but believe and you should see differences. That's all I'm gonna say.
I love it. I love it. I think my thing is kind of goes along with Slim's, which is just do it. Like, it's amazing how many situations will happen and things will try to deter you, even in the process of you doing it, to make you believe you shouldn't be doing it. I experience that literally every day. But just doing it and seeing the impact that it has on people, like, you will be amazed by just saying one thing. And I believe even the people who are watching this podcast, like, the things that y'all are saying, like, really, really putting people on game, like, this is real life. It just changes if you just do it, if you just have a conversation, if you just say it out loud, if you just do that thing. So I'm with y'all, man. I love it. I love this conversation. I gotta bring y'all back. I feel like I gotta bring y'all back.
I'll come. When I got the invitation, I was like, for sure, I'm there.
And I don't want to get nobody no false ideas about me. I cuss, I do all kinds of stupid. I'm trying to learn how to quell all that, but my heart is in the right place when it comes to my spirituality, I believe.
I agree.
That's why it's individual. You know, I'm gonna just go. You know,
I heard you holler at him before. Stop acting like
I talk to God, but you know, I'm still a nigga though.
You shake your fist at him a lot, though.
I fuck shaking my fist. I be like, man, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Bro? You supposed to be the homie. Like, God damn, my nigga.
You remember when
come on,
you remember
bro.
my shaking my fist
like,
time
come on,
when
bro.
I was over at Will's, and I had that breakthrough.
Shaking my fist.
That's what you doing,
man.
Just be mad as hell at him.
Oh my God. Boy. Okay, so to the camera, y'all tell people your name one more time, where they could find you. Of course, you guys, thank you guys for tuning in today, but you got to catch the Corner Store podcast. You have to catch the Corner Store podcast.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Slim
that.
and Dex are collaborating on something every single week. Like, and it's going to be big. It's just going to continue to grow, but I'm going to let y'all talk. I'm going to let y'all say y'all own stuff, but I had to get that out. Go ahead.
All right. Well, you know, you already heard my Instagram. It's AL_COHAUL 6 at Instagram. That's my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? We also do the Crenshaw where, you know, it's Crenshaw WEAR. That's the store where I'll be at the storefront. That's where we do the podcast at also. You know what I'm saying? We welcome people to come down, have good food. We got great stuff. This is my homeboy's clothing line, but you know, I support Black business. You feel me? Because we gotta get. How we gonna be rich if we always asking somebody to give us something? You feel me? You gotta chip in and do something for the homies. Sometimes
I pay full price, and I got my show there. So hey, that's where you got to put your money back into the kitty.
He gonna still make sure the lights is on. And all that, so we good. Long as
he took $20 off that one time.
But yeah, no, that's it. Crenshaw, where we open Monday through Sunday, 10 to 5 p.m. Come down, you know, anytime. Everybody's welcome. We love to see y'all down there. Shout out to all my people in the Crenshaw district.
And as for me, the Corner Store podcast, KSP, is hosted by yours truly, OMD-DEX300. I'm also a comedian. You can catch me at the Comedy Chateau, Haha in North Hollywood, North End of Hollywood in Hollywood. And also, look out for the Still on Crenshaw podcast coming very soon. And also my merchandise coming very soon too. Check me out on YouTube. Appreciate it.
Corner Store Podcast.
KSP in the building.
I love it. Thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you guys for having a real conversation. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for tuning in. Wherever you see the YouTube, TikTok, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, wherever you want to hear it, you can catch the Just Levina podcast. So
that's right.
I'm beyond thankful for you guys both.
Thank you.
For real honored. And we'll see y'all on Friday, and you already know.
Let's get it.
Just Levina.